All right, so in this exercise, we're going to work in our curtain walls section. It's on chapter 6, or in chapter 6. Practice 6A is where we're going to start. It's on page 6-17. And it starts out to just open up our hotel project and go to our elevations. So I'm going to pull this down to elevations, and it wants us to go to the south view. So just double click on south. And what we want to do is, first of all, it says to make it easier, select our column line. So I'm going to select a column line and a column and a level line. Then we'll right click and I think we want to hide in view elements. Well, that only takes those out, so that book isn't quite right, I don't think. So I'm going to try this one again. And column. I should be able to select all instances. Well, I guess we can just select them all. Just to hide them. So I'm just holding down my control key and selecting all of these. Guess that one doesn't matter too much. Get all of our actual columns. So just going to give us a cleaner view of the have to kind of jiggle the mouse a little bit to get the right selection. And now we'll just right click and say hide in view elements. That looks pretty good. Looks like this one could hide. Good deal. All right. So the curtain wall grid does not match up with any of the other features. So we want to select our parapet walls in the properties and change those to a different base offset. So I'm going to select this parapet wall because these just picked off the curb. So if yours are showing up individually, it may be you may need to redo that parapet wall. So we're going to select all three of those on the curves, and it wants us to change, set the base offset to -2 feet instead of -6. So we're going to say -2 and hit apply. And what that does is it brings those units up. Now we're going to select all of the curtain walls. So we're going to select this one, hold down the control key, select this one. Oops, I guess I got to select them first here. So this one, had to hit the escape key a couple times, I think. Can't tell if it's selecting them or not. So I'm going to just change the offset here to -2. Hit apply. There they go. They are all selected. I just couldn't tell when I looked at them. So it just pulls that that grid pattern up a little closer. um, Select the three curtain walls and properties. Change the top offset to -2. Click apply. This extends the curtain wall up to the parapet. Change horizontal offset to 4 feet. So that would be in this one maybe. Horizontal offset. No. Yeah, that should be this one. All right, I'm just going to select this curtain wall and look up here. So we get down to it's up here, constraints, offset. Vertical grid, horizontal grid right here. And that would be 4 feet. So it should pull this over to the side. Nope. Oh, I think we need it to have it all selected again. Now we'll go down, change the horizontal grid, offset, 4 feet. Hit apply. There we go. It just says the grid fits better now, so we'll take their word for it. It kind of looks like my windows are a little closer than this picture, but that's fine. It looks somewhat original. Task 2 says in this task you will add grid lines to match up with multiple lines at the bottom of the building. Zoom in to the bottom edge of the building and ensure that the brick CMU and the curtain wall are displayed. So that's right down here. And we're going to use the align tool to move the curtain grid line so it matches with the top of the CMU sill. There's our CMU sill, is this block right here. Okay, so we'll select our architectural tab, curtain grid. Oh, that's for adding, so we just need to do an alignment here right now. Whoops. Waiting for my, there we go. So I want to align this with this. There we go, unpin it. So I have to select it first and then hit the unpin. So now I should be able to align this to this. There we go. And I think we need to do that all the way around. So I'm going to hit escape, unpin this one, unpin this one. So again, we'll align with this to this, and align this to this. Okay. All right, I'm reading this through. So it says take your architectural tab. I'll zoom into this again. Go into our curtain grid tool. And we're going to add 3 grid lines. We'll try this one. Trouble is I can't see it, so I got to go to a I'll just throw it in here, and I'll line and move them later. Yeah, they only go down there, so I'll have to put those in later. There we go. Hard to see those things when I'm zoomed in. Trying to see if I can get those things like they show up. I'll try a hidden view here. All right, I'm just going to back them out here. And we'll try this again. And go to curtain grid. I wonder if I can do this to all of these together by just holding down the control key and selecting all of these. Now let's see if I can go to architecture, curtain grid. It's like 2 feet. Oh, it's frustrating. There we go. That looks about right there. Of course, it didn't select all three like I wanted it to, so now I have to come down here, line this one up. Seems to work best if I put my cursor right on the vertical edge here. Whoops. Okay, after a little bit of fussing, I got it to stick. And then it says, select these 4 curtain grid lines, hold down the control, select each line individually, move them down 1 1/4 inches. Make sure to drag your cursor down before entering or the move value. This places them correctly for the mullions that are added later. Okay. I don't know why that's so important, but I'll hit escape twice. And I'll select that. Hit the move. And we say 1 1/4 inches. Okay. Didn't look like it did much, but they're down a little bit, so that'll work. So it looks like everything's lined up. It says zoom out until the entire front of the building is displayed. Alrighty. I'm going to go back to a wireframe. No, we don't want wireframe. I want hidden line. There we go. Yeah, I don't know why this thing decides to show the bricks when you get in here, but then you can't see the lines, so it makes it difficult to work with it. In the it says add and modify mullions. In the architecture tab, build panel, click mullion. So there's our mullion. Select each of the curtain walls and click the modify tool to finish. So we can do that. Mullions. Architecture, mullion. Place mullion tab. So I'm going to select this one, hold down the control key, this one. All right, that didn't work. Try it again. Place mullion. All grid lines. And then it's select this. Appears something's happening here. Give me warnings, but it never stopped me before. Just hitting the delete elements when it doesn't do what I tell it to. So if I zoom in on this now, we can actually see the mullions show up. Maybe this is my problem here, is these aren't really touching. Okay. Select each of the curtain walls and click Modify to finish. Mullions are placed on all the grid lines. At the two lines where the curtain walls meet, extra mullions are added. These are not needed and should be removed. So I'm going to select this mullion, choose this one right there, and delete it. And I'm going to select that mullion and delete it. There. And I'm going to select, these are kind of messed up here. It seems to be working, just a lot of cleaning up to do here. So my end result is to try to get these out so that they can. Whew, try it again. Mullions. Although that doesn't work. There we go. A little tricky, but after a little fussing, I just have to zoom in a little bit on it to. Looks good. I don't think these were cleaned up the way they should have been probably to start with. What you want is just that nice single line down through there. So suppose I can hold down my control key. Try it this way. There. Okay, we get that cleaned up. Now we got this one to clean up. Hopefully this one will be easier, but I don't think it will be. That or I'm doing something awfully wrong, but this seems to be working. It's just tedious. And delete. And I'll get over on this side, holding down the control key. They make it sound a lot simpler in the book. One more, I think. Nope. I'm assuming just because I got a lot of goofy looking lines here that these are kind of mishmashed in. What I want to see is just a nice clean you can kind of tell the way it selects what you're looking for here. Oh, yes, much better. All right. Let's see. We added the grid lines, we added the mullions, we selected one of the mullions. Extra mullions are added in the view control, select timberlake height and select isolate. Well, It says in the view control bar, click the little glasses temporary height isolate and select isolate category. This makes selecting the mullions you want deleted easier. Delete the extra mullions. Well, I probably did it the long way. Select the entire bottom row of mullions. You can use the window selection box to select the entire row. Okay. So, my entire bottom row of mullions are right there. And we're going to click Make Continuous. Ah, I see. Okay. Repeat with the top row of mullions. I see. All right, we'll go up to the top row of mullions. And we'll select across here and say Make Continuous. So again, that breaks it across the top. All right, so far so good. Now we're going to add a storefront entrance. So this is task number 4. You can follow along in the book. You may find an easier way to do this, but that seemed to work. We're going to open up the floor plans for floor plan 1. So go all the way to the top. There's floor plan 1. And we're going to build a little curtain wall. So we're going to go to the Architectural tab and Build panel and click Wall. Architecture, Build, Wall. We are going to select a curtain wall storefront. So we'll drop this down. And Probably down near the bottom. Storefront, curtain wall, storefront right there. And our base offset, 0, 0. Top constraint up to floor level 2. Floor level 2. Our top offset, -6 feet. -6. And says draw the storefront within the existing wall as shown on figure 6-34. So I'm assuming it's going between these two columns right here. It looks like it's over 1 foot 3 inches. Right there. Left click. Go all the way over, and it's 14 foot 6 inches wide. Do one more right there. Check it out. Although it should have been in the center. So let's go back here. I'm going to Control Z back. We'll do it again. Architecture, wall, curtain wall, everything else is set. So I'm going to do this one from the center. We went over 1 foot 3. And then we go all the way down 14 foot 6 right there. And that looks more like what they got in the book. Now it says open up your elevations for the south elevation again. And there's our storefront that we just put in. Kind of looks like the one. Window around to select the storefront. So I'm going to come down here and we'll window around this. No, I just want the storefront. And because it is created with a preset type, all the grids and panels are pinned as shown on the left. Type up UP to unpin. So just type in UP, enter. Whoops. That didn't work. So let's try it again. It's my storefront. It's unpinned. Oh, I must have hit escape. All right, so it's still unpinned. Modify the storefront as shown. So I'm just going to zoom in. We'll click this. I'm just going to move this over. Hold down both of these. And it's going over 3 feet. 8 foot 6. I'll just leave it right there for now. Come on. See if I can do a selection that way. I want to unpin it and move it. All right. That one didn't work so good, but we'll try this one. Move this one. Oh, this is frustrating. All right, we'll get it. Move. Needs to be right there. I don't have the right dimensions yet, but I will. Bear with me. Take these horizontal dimensions and I can get these moved up. So I just need to line these up with the come on. Move. I just made them continuous because I figured that would help me get them where they needed to go. Maybe these are pinned. Let me just see if these are. Doesn't appear as though they are. Move. All right, I'm going to back up here a minute. I'm going to back it all the way up. We'll try it again, see if I'm doing something wrong. Wall. Save the project. Everything's good. Got all my settings. Up the floor to up at -6. That looks good. Come over here. (1'3" off the wall. 14'6". There's my wall. Hit escape. Go to my south elevation. There's my thing. I'll zoom in on it. They're all pinned. Type UP and lock it in. Just see if I can move one of these. Move. Well, let's try the align tool. I want to align it with that to that. Well, there, that works. So I don't know why that didn't do it before, but using the align tool. And we know that that's going to be 3 feet. So if I go to my architecture, I'm just going to take my line tool. And I should be able to hit this. That was evenly spaced at 14 foot 6. 3, 4. Sorry, talking to myself. I'm going to go 1.5 feet. Come on. My problem is getting this over. So I'm in Modify. I select this thing. I want to just move it. Moved it 1 foot 6. I'm going to grab this one, move this one 1 foot 6. All right, so let's just measure between here, 7 foot 7. That should be 3 feet. So I got to go another 6 inches with these. All right, slow but steady. And again with this one. So they go 2 feet over on either side. So now if I measure with this measuring tool from here to here, it's pretty close to 3 feet. Almost within. Let's measure from this side to this side. So it's got to go 3/4 of an inch back on either one. So I'm going to take this one and we're going to move that 0.75 inches. Move this one 0.75 inches. And now when I measure this from this outside line to here, it's 3 feet. And I measure from this inside line to here, it's 8 foot 6. Okay, figured it out anyway. All right, we moved that up to the top. Now if I hit my align tool, if I select these 3 right here and hit the align tool, and I lock this to this, and then I can lock it. Hit the little padlock, we'll lock that up. All right. Now, I think that's good. Now we're going to put the door in here. So we're going to use the Insert tab, Architect or Insert. Click Load Family. Going to go to Door. Use the more generic method of loading the curtain wall door because you cannot use the door command to place doors and curtain walls. In the Load Family dialog, in the Doors folder, select the Door Curtain Wall Door Front Double RFA. Doors, Curtain Wall Storefront Double RFA. Okay. Alrighty. So now select the large panel, so I'm going to go back to my Modify tool. Okay, I figured it out. And the book is terrible. It doesn't do a very good job at this. So anyway, we're back in here. What I'm going to do is just delete this bottom mullion first of all. And then I'm going to select this panel in the middle. You can see it says System Panel Glazed. I'm going to change this. We're going to go to Edit Type, and we're going to duplicate it. And we'll call it Glazed Door. Hit OK. We're going to come up here and we're going to load our doors, Storefront Double. And we're going to come right here and change this from basic wall or curtain wall to curtain wall storefront double. Hit OK. And there you have it. So it's a little different than putting it into walls. We're actually taking the glass and telling it, no, you're not glass. You're actually a set of glass doors. So now if we come back out and look at our 3D view, we can see our glass doors now in the bottom of this curtain wall. And as we look at our 3D view, we can kind of check and just see if everything looks good on the outside here. Some of you may have to mess around. If you set up your glazed wall in sections, you may have to go back and redo that. Not a hard thing to do, but just keep in mind that that you need to do that. So our next exercise after this is we're going to put in our foundation wall and some petitions down there. And I think everything else looks pretty good, and then we'll start working on floors and bringing things up to the upper levels. And starting to put some furniture and some finishes in the building, and then finally ending up putting the roof on, and some stairs and some other things. So while I got you here too, one more thing. Let's go to our first floor again. So I do have internet now, and I wanted to go take a look at an elevator door. So I'm going to go to just type in the word. See if this might take us to it. Elevator door. Because we don't have any in our library. So my network's a little slow, so bear with me just for a second. I'll finish this up and we'll finish this video here. And they talk about placing doors, where I can find them. Not much help there. So I'm going to type in a website, RCAT. Free building products. I'm going to type in elevator doors. And we want some BIM. And that's not really what I want. Autodesk Seek. Bim Model Catalogue. Now you have to sign up for this, so it's a good way to do it. Hopefully I can remember. Go to our building library. Actually, I'll just click doors. That's probably easier. And I'm going to type in. And I should be able to, right here. going to go down through elevator door, side center parting. Click on this one. And I want this one for REVIT Architecture 2010 and later. Just say download. Well, might not be able to give it to you after all. Whoops. Try it again. It's either going to kick me out or let me stay. All right. Hopefully I remember it. Okay, so now I should be able to grab this elevator. We'll say download. And we'll just open it up. It's going to give me a one-time upgrade on the object itself. There's my elevator door. I'm going to say load this into the project. And it's a 48 by 84 inch elevator door. I'm just going to come right here and just place it right, whether I want it on the inside or the outside. Let's try it right there and see what happens. There it is. So if I want to see what that looks like from the outside, I know that was a long way to go, but sometimes you can get some really nice stuff in there. So let's just take a look at the elevator door. Camera, we'll just take a look out here. There it is. Take a look around while we're in here. It's the outside of our wall. As soon as we get some floors in here, we should be in good shape. So good. I'm going to go back to my floor plan. And what will happen is we'll end up copying these up to all the other floors. So the next item we're going to do is our basement floor level. So I'll do that on another video so you don't have to get bored too much more.